Hi, I'm Gary, and I just got here. Today we're gonna continue the live build on the FT Simple Scout, and I got this up so that I can see what everybody's saying. Hey, Alan, thanks for joining, and Dave. And it's got a little bit of a delay, so might take a second before I see your guys' comments. When I was getting everything out, I have misplaced the hardware for the airplane, so I'm gonna have to look for it. And yeah, so I'm gonna wait for a few more people to get on, but I'm gonna show you guys some airplanes that I need to work on, or I need to finish so that I can fly them. And hey, Jermaine and Gary, thanks for hopping on. Paul, pretty awesome. We got the window and the window thing going on. Anyways, I have the glue gun heated up, and today we're gonna start on the fuselage. So I need to pop all these pieces out so that I can do the weeding on them. And I have a sharp knife here ready if I have any trouble popping these out. Paul's at lunch. Well, Paul, don't be late getting back to work, but thank you for being on here. I just watched my Buffalo Bills lose their game against the Houston Texans. This looks like it's scrap now. And there's nothing to weed on these parts. They're reinforcements for inside the fuselage. Hey, Kevin. Thanks for hopping on. Nice, Dave's RC's on here. So, gotta get this part popped out. I don't know if it's because it's so thin right here, it doesn't want to come out. And if I haven't already said it, this is the FT Simple Scout that I'm building tonight, or working on building. Been working on it. I'm not working on it off the air. We're waiting for everybody else to do this, but let's see. Whoops. There's a spot right here. There it is. A little notch for the control line for the, I think that's for the rudder, or that actually might be for the elevator. I think the rudder's sitting on top of the plane. We'll pop those out in a minute. Mike's joined, and Edgar. Thanks, Edgar. It's been pretty exciting with the growth on the channel. We passed up the 500 mark. That was pretty awesome. And yeah, we got quite a few people on. I'll go ahead and point the camera at the pool table where I got a bunch of airplanes sitting. We'll see how this goes. So, you guys can see there, that first balsa plane that's not got any covering on it, that is, that's a Messerschmitt, and I've had that airplane quite a while. It has a Thunder Tiger 40 engine on it, and then behind that airplane is that is the S-Bach by Tower Hobbies, and they've discontinued that plane. And then that brown airplane, I don't know if you guys can see that too good. But this airplane right here, my dad's done all this work. I haven't done any work on it yet. I believe it's a 40 size nitro engine airplane. And that airplane is an AAMCO airplane. And it's either called the S-Ray or X-Ray. I'm not sure which one it is. But the wing's all done. And then the one right behind that, the blue and yellow airplane, that is a Cap 232 by Hangar 9. And then the red airplane is called the Superstar. And then behind that, I believe, that is a Great Plains Extra 300. And that one's going to be quite a large airplane. So somebody gave that to me, and that one's going to be a while before I get to it because it needs expensive servos. So until I have extra money for that, that's what that's going to be. All right. We'll leave it about right there, I think. All right, guys. But that's some of the stuff I got to work on. And, yeah. Oh, yeah, the pool table. Yeah, I love that pool table. We bought that new a while back when we moved here. I don't remember this part, but I'll go ahead and pop it out just so it's out of the phone. And we're going to leave these little engine pieces. Those go on later, so I'll just leave those in so they don't get messed up or lost. And if I get to the point where I don't know what I'm doing, we'll just have to end the video because I didn't get a chance to watch the rest of the build. And there's no instructions with this. You gotta go and watch their videos on how to build it. And oh, did you guys lose? So I'm on Wi-Fi today, so you shouldn't lose stream. And it's still going on my TV, so autocorrect. So I need this part. Oh, there was another piece here that needs what they call weeding, where the parts are going to glue together. Got that, and then this is just a square. I'll go ahead and make that just so I have it in case I need it. I know that you've got to clean this part out, and so I think this is enough pieces to get some weeding done, and then glue a few pieces together and see where we're at from there. So real quick for this one, for the triangle, just got to remove the center part and then glue the two pieces together. In case I didn't already say it, hey Kevin, I don't know if I caught you or not when you came on, and Michael. So my son is upstairs talking to my wife, and I can hear the dog barking. Oh, so yeah, it was a little depressing seeing my team lose, but they made it to playoffs and into overtime in the playoff game, so it was close. Lost by a field goal. We'll just hit this with some glue sticks. Got the Joanne Fabrics glue sticks here, ready to go. Hey, Mom's on. Hey, Mom. Just a little bit of glue there. In case you guys are ever wondering, I am in my basement. And I'll just hold that for a second while that cools down. Nice. Glad to hear that it was good on your side. What you guys think I should fly tomorrow? If it's nice enough, I'd like to get the jet out, of course. Like flying the jet when it's nice on the weekend. Somebody was asking me about a swap meet that's going on. I don't know if I'll make it to that or not. Thinking about it. So I need to, on this piece, I need to weed all the way around the edge. And oh yeah, these need to come out. I think this whole center part comes out. And then these two little pieces here, they work as the guides for the wire, for the control lines, going from the inside back to the elevator and the rudder. So they get these little pieces out of the middle here. Just enough for there you glue a little like a stir for coffee stir, and I have some of those upstairs if I can't find what they provided. We'll just put it in there and it glues in the fuselage on these squares. So you'll put the coffee stirrer in there and then glue it. Now they had the coffee stirrers the size of the block, and I'm thinking I might leave the coffee stirrer clear to the back, or maybe even out this little slot that the wire is going to go through, just to stiffen the line up just a little more. So I see FPV Club is on. Thank you, FPV. In the piece that I don't know about, might have missed the question, but this piece is just a square for when you're building. It's not part of the plane anyways. So, but yeah, truth is, the glue does add a lot of weight. Although we know, based on the other airplanes that I've flown, the weight, at least for me, isn't too crucial. Some of my airplanes probably have half a pound of glue in them. So they use their X-Acto to try and help with these part that needs weeded out right here. So I'm going to use that. Trying not to go too deep. Don't want to cut through the paper on the back. I never really heard that the RC Sailors were going live today. Hey Rob, thanks for hopping on. Some of the other live channels that I watch, been getting a lot of people watching. We got 14. That's pretty good for me. Plenty happy about that. And I've been getting on a few here and there to see what other channels are talking about and doing, and just trying to keep up with the hobby. And so I don't know who all everybody watches and stuff, but if you wanted to share channels that you'll you know of, maybe I don't already see them and it would help me out. Alright, so there's those. Not sure if that gets notched out or not. It doesn't look like it. So we'll not do that right away. And so we'll go ahead and work this out. That started out really good. Felt like Bixler himself building there for a second, the way that was coming apart real nice. When he does this, it's like it just falls out of the notch for him on his build videos. Of course, they might be doing multiple takes to get it just perfect. And right here, we got to save the paper in the back, because that's what this side's going to glue to it. Glues at an angle. Felt like I was breaking it. What? Yeah, this is the FT Simple Scout. Yep. So I do have one of these already that friend Dan Newens built for the RC Sailors, and they gave it to me. And I like flying it, but I've crashed it quite a few times, and so I wanted to build a new one that didn't have as much work done to it. And what I'm hoping to do is to be able to fly this when I hit 365 days straight on February 4th. So there will be some more live builds coming up in the next few weeks so that we can get this done. Yeah, Pilot Ryan, he goes live a lot. Him and Josh Weaver, I've been watching his stuff. He's a smaller channel, but some interesting content when I get on there. So I'm having trouble right here. Let's see. Maybe. Looks like I didn't get it quite. There we go. So now the idea is for these to fit like that. They gotta fit down in that groove like that. And then this part will bend and fit and be glued right there. And this one will come up and be glued right there. And then these little pieces right here will glue on there. And these pieces will glue like this. Yeah, and I don't think that doesn't come in it. So and it'll be right to the edge like that. And this one right here. And this little line lines up because this is the flex point for when it tapers in. There's Jen. Hi, Jen. Hopefully I didn't miss anybody yet. But just like that, and they got some little lines to show where it lines up at. But we'll finish weeding on this and these. This is So these here are real easy. You got to take out this middle piece, just like that. And I think these fold over like that, and they're gonna fit somewhere. I got to get farther along in the video, but you just weed these out. And I didn't even get to the part today where he glues this, but I'm pretty sure it's going to glue together just like that. And this is going to form up here, or not there, but on the airplane. It's going to be up here for to create the round part of the nose. But on here I got to weed along the edges. I keep hoping that I don't make any mistakes. I don't want to buy another one. Alright, that felt pretty good. Let's hit this side. Oh, the RC Sailors. Hey, Nate or Abby, whoever it is. Building the FT Simple Scout tonight. If I can get this to peel. There we go. Now I'm getting it. Oh, did you guys release a video? I missed it. I was watching footballs. Before I end the video, I'll show those airplanes on the pool table again, because people have been joining since I showed them. In case you're wondering and you weren't on earlier, I got some airplanes laid out on the pool table that are brand new to me, at least, and only one of them's been flown before, but they're airplanes I need to get done so I can fly them. And I was just showing, got lots of work to do. But I think this is basically going to go on top. It's got this is a spot, and here's a spot where it's going to be, you're going to fold. Actually, this one up here is going to fold. It's going to fold back for some reason. I can't remember exactly why they did that, but this here is why you have the square. When you glue these in the upright position, use the square to make sure that it's nice and straight. And then after we get this glued up, we're going to put this on there. And I will have to go back and watch the video again because it is important which way I do it. And I'm trying to remember if this was something that I wanted to do a little bit different, because they have the push rod below the elevator, and so when you're trying to climb with the airplane, they have the push rod pushing, and usually you want the elevator to pull on the up. So unless you're using a short, or for at least for these little foam planes is what I meant. I know a lot of the other models, they just try to hide the controls. I'm supposed to get this right on the edge here, like this, just like that. And then we're gonna trim so that the rudder can bend back the other way. You got to trim off part of this, get a nice angle, and you want to use a sharp, I can't remember if they do, since this is coming right to the edge, I'm thinking we're going to trim on this side. So I want to get it just right here. You can kind of see the line. You don't want to cut into that line because that's the line of paper that holds the elevator to the horizontal stabilizer. So you don't want to touch that, but you want to get right here next to it. And we're going to get about a 45-degree angle. Lots of concentration here. Trying to make a nice smooth cut without getting in that line. I'm going really slow, or I would tell you not to pull it towards you. But I'm trying to do it just so I can see it really good. Usually when you use a knife, you don't want to use a dull knife and you don't want to pull it towards yourself. But I'm not moving the knife, I'm moving this piece away from me. So now I can get that up or down, whichever way it is. So it looks like a pretty good cut and a pretty good amount of movement. I mean, these airplanes don't need a ton. All right, so there's this piece, and then these are gonna fit right into these two little notched out pieces right here. So you need to pop these out. And I think this one is, this is the top. So right here must be where these pieces go in. The front and the rear of the cockpit. And then this is going to go on top like this. And this must be part of the rudder, or the vertical stabilizer will fit in there. So nice. So I've not been keeping up real good here. Hopefully you guys are doing good with each other. So I'm going to go ahead and pop this out. I'm sure it's not needed because it just has one little piece holding that on. We'll glue that on in a second. And then these are going to go in like this. But they also need to go here. It's got to bend just a little bit like that. And so I'm going to glue that in there like that. And then this one the same thing. It's going to have to bend right here just ever so a little bit like that. And then they'll both fit right into those grooves. Just like so. With the 90-degree tester thing. So we're going to open this up, and you want to shoot the glue onto the paper down here on the bottom. So, oh no, that was close. So before I do that, I want to put these pieces on. And so that one's going up here, and this one goes down here. That was really close. So just like that. So we'll hit the back side with some glue. almost there. I'm sure it's gonna fly though. I think that was, there we go. I hope so. So I think that needed to come to the top and this piece would stick up just a little bit. Oh. Hey, Scott. Oh, okay. That's cool. So I need to glue the other one on there. It's going to go on here just like this, or like this. And they have little lines showing you where they go. So as long as you line it up along the top edge there and with these lines, should be good to go. Man. So I do think I made a mistake with that one. Looks like it's supposed to be down, lined up with the bottom of the wing hole. So that is on there good now. Well, I made my first mistake, it looks like. So, the fix. What will the fix be? So it should have been down along this line. I don't know if you guys can see this, but I glued it up along the top edge. Not real sure what to do about it because it feels like the glue is dried now. So I think what I'll end up doing is it will not come down to the line. What I'll end up doing is trimming it where I messed up along this edge, because this is going to be where this has to fit down in there. So actually I'm just going to go ahead and use this piece to figure out my lines. Looks like it should be about that much. And I'll just get my first pass using it like a straight edge. Just like that. And then like this. All right. So when I'm doing this correction, I'm trying not to cut clear down into the next piece. Kind of just like the weeding exercise that I just did. And I'll hold the other piece up next to it to make sure I left enough material. Pretty disappointing that I made that mistake already. there. So now I got that edge that I'm going to need for this piece to fit down in there. It's going to fit down in there something like this. And then that's going to glue. I might have to trim it just a little bit more. But that's pretty good right there. So, not too bad. That ought to work out. And I'll try to decide later if I need to put just a little thin piece here or not. Maybe after I do this, I'll decide. I haven't decided yet. Let's get the other piece on there. I'll put it on the right way. My cuts gave a little bit of a trim to it, but it'll be all right. So just like that, I want it like, all right. Like that. Right along. This is going to be the slot for the wing to help support it. That's just how that's going to go. Well, sometimes I don't want you guys to see my mistakes too close, so it's better if I don't have that camera guy to show you the close-ups. Well, thanks, Jermaine. I do appreciate you hanging out with us. And, all right, so I need the 90 piece. Put that. We're going to put the glue down onto the paper. I see right there I don't have it down to the paper, so that does need cleaned up just a little bit, ever so little. Because with that in there, it's going to keep it from being able to come up the way it needs to. Bit down here too, it looks like. And like I said earlier, we're going to get this airplane done so I can fly it on February 4th. So I don't know if that means I got to do a live build every weekend to get it done. We'll see how far I get at. I was really only wanting to go another 15 minutes or so. Rather the videos not be so long that people don't want to watch them after I'm all done. So let's start with this side. Oh, you know what? After I add that piece, I need to do that flex thing again, because that new piece needs to flex just a little bit. Let's do this side too while we're at it. There we go. Now I can add that glue. It's going to go on the paper. Might be a little too much even. Trying to go not as heavy back here towards the back, so it's not squirting out everywhere. Looks like it's lining up. And then we need this piece leaned up against it. Just like that. We want to make sure this is lined up nice and straight. Yeah, I have several of the small glue guns from Walmart, and I picked this one up at the Flight Fest event. It was one of the few things that I bought at their events because I just haven't seen it anywhere else. And I thought I wanted to look at it before I bought it. And when I looked at it, I thought it was nice enough to make that little bit extra cost. So I went ahead and did it. Alright, so now I'm gonna. Was able to make that whole run with the one pump of the glue gun. Trying to make sure this is in on the paper real good, and trying to make sure it's 90 degrees. Now when I put the other piece on the bottom, it's going to pull it together pretty decent, so you want everything to be square, but at the same time it's going to square itself up with that piece when we get there. We won't be putting that part on tonight because I still need to put the pieces on the inside for the guides for the wires and I wanted to think through it again because I was thinking that I'll pull out the other airplane and look at it, but I was thinking that I want to do the servos in a slightly different spot because I can't see them right now and I can't adjust anything. And so I was thinking about making them external somehow, either on the top, doing the pull to the elevator, and then maybe having it on in through the side like a bigger airplane. Still thinking through it. Wanted to put this on yet tonight. They said to pinch these so it'll fit down in there a little easier. Not too much, just enough to taper them just a little bit. There it goes, just like that. And this is that is the top of the airplane, like this. And I think they have this open part on the bottom. So if I do that, I need the control lines coming from down here because, or if I flip it over, that is, you want it to pull, you want the pulling action to be on the side where the paper's on the back, because if it's pulling the other way, then it might separate. So I'm thinking I'm gonna do it this way. I'm gonna look at it a little bit more before we glue this on. But that's where that's gonna go. We'll get that figured out. And I'm not sure what this piece is. I think this is part of the engine thing, which I need to, I bet if I find where I put the motor mount, I'll find the hardware, because I don't see it either. So I'll have to go find it. But I think that wraps up what I'm going to do as far as gluing and cutting out for tonight. Let's take another quick look at the airplanes that I need to work on. Nope. Sorry about that. My extension cords don't want to go quite that far. Alright, I think it's going to stay here. Looks solid. So, this one here is a Messerschmitt, and I don't know who made this model, but it's got some work done to it that I did when I was really young. And in fact, this fuel tank was used when I put it in there, and it looks like there's some stuff in it, so I'm going to take that out. This is a brand new Thunder Tiger 40 that's in there, and so I'm hoping that'll work out, and then the spinner will cover up a lot of that. If you've been on the channel for a while, you've seen this airplane before. It's the S-Bach by Tower Hobbies. Now they've made this airplane discontinued, but I happened to get one right before they stopped them. So I have mine, and I have another one that I crashed not that long ago, and so I'm hoping to get 2 of those done. And then this airplane was one that my father built a long time ago, and it's pretty heavy back here in the back, so I'm gonna have to be really careful because I do want to fly this, but I also want to keep it. And so it looks like it's a tricycle because it's got the wire thing here for the front wheel, so it'll get back about here, it looks like, is where there's a stronger piece of wood, and right there will bolt on the mains for the back of the tricycle. And this is also a 40 size nitro engine airplane, so I got to find an engine for that one. And then this one, none of the work's done on this. I just have this sitting on there so you can see what it's going to look like. But this is the Hangar 9 Cap 232. And I had a World Models Cap 232, or I still have it, but I crashed it at the Horizon RC Fest. And I forgot to turn sound off on my phone. I'm getting alerts for other people going live. But anyways, this one, I'll get this one going, and I'll probably use the engine and servos and all that out of the other Cap 232 for this one. And I'm going to save the other one and start doing work on the stuff that broke up. And we'll replace it with a gas engine when that one's done. But this one will, if I use the Super Tiger engine, that was a nitro. So we'll switch that one. This will be a nitro and the other one will be gas. And then this one, same thing, no work's been done on it. This stuff's just slid into place so I can see what it looks like. It's not been glued or anything. And it's got it, this, I just kind of punched this out. This is where the wing tube goes through. And because I fit everything together just so I can see what it's going to look like. But this is called the Superstar, I think. And it gets about a 20cc size engine on it. And it looks like it's set up for that Super Tiger engine, which I was thinking about putting on here, but I don't know. I'll see. Maybe it'll end up with a gas engine too, instead of nitro. And then this monster, can see all that. But I think this is supposed to be Great Plains Extra 300. And as you can see, it's not covered. It's going to need all the covering. And I was asking some people what kind of engine it should have on it. And I think they're suggesting like a 150cc engine. So this is going to be big. It'll have at least like a 10-foot wingspan. The wings are done, and I have all the hardware because this plane has been flown by somebody else, and this was given to me to finish. But the electronics is really expensive, so this one's going to have to wait for a little while. My kids keep asking me to finish it. It's quite a bit bigger than the other airplanes. And so, let me read some of the comments real fast. David Brown, I'm planning on building the Spruce Goose from a measured poster I picked up. That would be something else, man. Spruce Goose, that's a really big water plane, right? I'm not completely sure on that, but I was thinking that was a really big, like multi-engine type plane. I do appreciate everybody hopping on and watching. It looks like we still have 14 people, so I'll watch. I should have watched more of the build video today, and maybe I would have got a little farther or went a little longer. But the football game was on, and I did some other stuff. So, and this really took an hour, so I think that's plenty of time for a video of me building a foam board airplane. And I can't wait to get this in the air. Doing the designs on it and stuff is going to be fun. I'm not exactly sure what all it's going to have on it. Surely it's going to say I just got here somewhere. And if you guys like my videos, please subscribe and hit that notification bell. And give me a thumbs up and leave some great comments. And I'll probably have to watch it back so I can see everybody's chat, because when you're trying to work on this, you're not looking at what everybody's saying. And so I do fall behind, and I apologize if I haven't answered any questions that people have asked, but I'll see you guys tomorrow. As always, I'm Gary, and I just got here.